Hey everybody, it's Nikki again, and I'm going to do one last kind of spontaneous one, may or may not post it, one last video that is my personal experience, my personal thoughts, theories, not to be used as medical advice. Ragnar in my Facebook group, you constantly give very, very good examples, and I want to be able to respond, but I can't do those in reasonable length responses. So I figured I would try just reading your response and saying what I'd like to say, and then maybe posting, maybe not. Okay. The other day you said, like today, we were talking about the delay. I can't find the original one, but we were talking about the delay in SG. And you've given a couple of examples like this. And this one you said, like today driving home, of course, out of test strips. My sensor said 50, so I had 8 grams of carbs. SG starts rising to 70. So I turn off suspend on low. I'm in manual mode. I get home and do a BG, which is 193. I'm starting not to trust the sensor. I missed the Dexcom, but I'm stuck with this for 4 years. 4 years is a long time. So I think that maybe taking a breath and going, okay, what is actually happening here might help you deal with this 4 years. Survive it. Might help you survive it. Okay. What I saw happening there, and there's some very important missing information. First, I'll tell you the missing information. First of all, you said you turned off suspend on low. I'm curious if you meant suspend on low or suspend before. There's a big difference between the two. If you were in suspend before low, by the time you hit 50, you may have already been suspended for 1 hour or 30 minutes or 2 hours. It could have been 5 minutes. I don't know. It's missing information. But the fact that your SG began rising makes me think that you could have been suspended for quite some time. So you see that rise, you turn off your suspend, but you also treat. So what you've done now is you've taken 8 grams of carbs on top of an undetermined amount of suspend. By the time you get home, you say your blood sugar is a 193. Well, another bit of important missing information is how long it takes you to get home. Were you home 5 minutes later, or were you home 45 minutes later? When your blood sugar was at a 193, we don't know what it was when you were in the car or how long you went. So looking at that 70 and 193 for me doesn't give much information because I know the SG is lagging. So I don't know how long you were at 193 or, how quickly you got up there. It's possible you were there for an hour and a half. It's possible you've been there for 10 minutes. And I'm sorry not to trust the sensor. That is the way I feel about my sensor. But this is what I would say in that case. How I have my settings is I have a suspend before, I have a suspend on low, not suspend before, because that preemptive suspending is really a problem in my case, and oftentimes it was suspending me when I didn't need it, and it was causing a high, and then because of the lag, I wouldn't even know that I had gone high until I was significantly so. When I changed it to suspend on low with alerts that would let me know that it was actually suspending, that's another thing, the alerts are very important. I then cut out those preemptive suspends, which in my case just weren't great. It was a safety net. It does now catch me when I'm really low. And now I actually have an alert that lets me know it is suspending, so I can take action or not. If I'm gonna have those grams of carbs, a lot of times I will cancel out my suspend. If I feel like this really is a big crash and I just, I'm going to let it suspend for a little bit, I might let it suspend for 15 or 20 minutes. I rarely let it go for 30, 40 minutes. I never let it go for the 2 hours or whatever it is. I also test that as soon as I see a rise in that SG and I know that I've been on a suspend or I might be rising, I always go test because rarely is a 70 a 70. And my guess is had you tested in the car, that 70 really would have been a 124, or something like that. And that's why by the time you got home, that 193 may have shown, a 130 or something on your SG. There's this delay. The faster your rise, the bigger the discrepancy. I'm saying you, but I'm really talking about what I've seen with my own numbers. But the more I see examples that people give, the more I'm like, oh yeah, that could be mine. So that's it. That's what I got. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.